got to go back out and turn the breaker back on. I've got the light switch off. Got to come over here and see, there's two panels here. One is up here, and initially I thought the breakers, let's see if I can't get this. Initially I thought it was one of those breakers, and it wasn't. And then down below this main panel there was this other panel. Okay, at first it didn't look like a breaker panel, but there it is. See, I got that breaker off. When I look at this, you see this right here? There's a gap right there. And you're not supposed to have it like that. So I'm gonna next time I'm at the store, I'm gonna get a blank plate and snap it and clip it in there. If you got a breaker space like that, you never want to leave it like that. Somebody messing around or something, you put a screwdriver in there or something, you can electrocute yourself, because you're not supposed to have anything open. Now here's the moment of truth. One of them anyways. When I turn this on, I don't want it to trip or anything, and then I'll know everything's been hooked up right. Okay, that was easy enough. I always hold my breath just a little bit when I'm doing stuff like this. I don't know why, you know. There. Okay. Got the power back on. Let's go on it back inside and see what we can do next. Okay, so far so good with our project. We got all the work done up in the ceiling, up in the attic. Okay, now it's time for me to put a piece of the trim cover on here, and I've got the light switch turned off over there. Remember where our light switch was? Right there. And eventually I am going to remove that light switch and install a dimmable light switch. I'll have that on a separate video coming up. But for now, I'm going to put one of these trim covers back up. And after that, I'm going to end up next week, I've got to come back here and patch around that light fixture right there where the sheetrock, I patched it, and all this other stuff where the existing fluorescent light fixtures, we took all those down, remember? If you haven't been watching my channel, you need to check that kind of stuff out, and you'll see how to do all this stuff I'm doing. And you know what? If I can do it, you can do it. That's right. Okay, so I'll be back here doing all kinds of patches and stuff. And after that, the painter's going to come and he's going to paint the ceiling. Now, before he paints the ceiling, he likes to have these trim pieces off. It's always good to leave them off in new construction. Well, this isn't new construction, is it? This is existing construction, an existing kitchen area, and they're kind of remodeling it just a little bit. There used to be a T-bar suspended grid system here, and we put all those eyeball can lights up in there. Okay, so their kitchen is going to be dark if I wait for the painter to come. So I'm going to put one of these up. Alright, I'm not going to put them all up because the painter likes them all down. I could put them all up and then have him take them all down. But I talked to my aunt, and she said it's okay temporarily to have just one of these working so that they have enough light in here. And so that's what we're going to do. So that's our next step, to mount one of these trim pieces back up there. Now here's our trim piece, and we decided to use the LED style. See, that's what the trim piece is going to look like. And I've got it all set up in here. It's kind of a slick little unit. Whenever you get a chance to replace anything, you might want to go with the LEDs instead of the compact fluorescent lights. Okay, so here it is. And on the back here, see all this stuff here? I had to screw these on here for 5 inch. And that's another reason why I know you don't like to read directions, but you gotta read directions whenever you get something. Because see, there's all kinds of little areas and you're like, okay, which one is it? You don't want to guess. This is for 4-inch. Because this is designed, you can install this in a 4-inch cut-in box, or in our case, we use those cans. And those are 5-inch cans. And they also have 6-inch can light units, okay? So that's what the associated little screws are. You can take this and you can screw it out here further or smaller, okay? In our instance, it's 5. We had to screw it there. That was kind of tricky too. Small little screws and get it all set up. And see how this is going to be compression fitting. That's just all that's going to hold it up against the edges. It's just these little nibs. All right? And you see up in that can, we've got this fitting right there, and it's got threads in it like that. And we're not going to use the black little brackets on the side. That's for a 4-inch box and a different way. So they design these so that you can do it either or. So we're going to take that. That just gets shoved up in the can. Okay? And then we're going to come back to this. And here's our little light. I'm kind of anxious to see how much light this gives off. It says it's supposed to be 75 watt, but it's only a 13 watt LED. And see, here, they've done this cord here. We're just going to screw that right up in there. And then we're going to take this and slide it up. Okay, that's our next step.